everyone, it's Will.
And James from The Amazing Race Season 32.
And after the longest pit stop ever, The Amazing Race is finally back.
So before the premiere, we're going to talk about the 11 teams who are racing on Season 33. We are so excited about the upcoming premiere of The Amazing Race. We've waited a very long time for it to be back.
It's so weird that all of this life has happened since our season of the race, and we had a long wait just to have our season air, but I cannot fathom going and racing and then having to completely stop, enduring this global pandemic, and then going back to race again. Very curious to see how it all plays out, but I'm also like so happy for these teams that they actually got to finish their journey.
I would be so stressed out wondering if I would even get to come back to race after the shutdown. So the fact that these 11 teams persevered and were so patient for this to finally happen, we are really looking forward to seeing them all in action on this upcoming season.
And I think if you notice, all of these teams have a little kindness or good energy vibe that's coming from them. They might have been in the news for something that they've done that's been good. They just all have this really passionate, compassionate, empathy-driven lifestyle. And so I think that's the perfect style of gameplay I think the world needs to watch right now, is just seeing kindness on our TV screens. So I'm excited for that too.
I know, after we were watching all the videos for the teams, we just kept saying to ourselves, oh, I like them. And it turns out we love all of them so equally, and that's why we're just really excited for the upcoming season.
What I'm grateful for is that I don't have to race against these teams, because I would feel terrible U-turning any of them.
So let's talk about the first team, AKBAR and Sheridan, a married couple from Martinsville, New Jersey. There's something so warm about these two, and the way that they give back to their community is so inspirational.
If you're an educator, you have gone through so many different types of learning environments, so I have so much respect for people who teach. Both of my parents are teachers, and so they just have this skill to just kind of overcome and adjust and be ready for anything. So I am quite excited to watch them.
And I love that their shirts say focus on the love. I think after the past year and that we're coming out of this pandemic, well, somewhat, I think we need that more right now, is all the love we can get. I am gonna be curious to know if they're gonna be so focused on the love, will there be a competitive drive to this team? I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out.
I think there's a clip of them in one of the previews that she's like slow and steady wins the race, and he's like, no, it's not. That's not it. That's not it. And I think I'm gonna love their dynamic.
The next team is Taylor and Isaiah Jones, husbands and YouTube sensations, who had a video go viral from their wedding. They did a flash mob. Love them, because I think that they kind of remind me a little bit of us. They're wanting to go into the race and not have their strategy be so known.
Yeah.
They kind of want to take a seat back, not let their strengths really show, and kind of be underestimated.
They also have that lovable energy. I don't know if you've seen their clip, but they dance a lot. All of their TikToks and videos, they dance a lot, which I think is really inviting for anybody who's racing with them. So I feel like they're gonna be, you know, well liked by the other teams, which they can use to their advantage.
Good social racers.
Yeah. And I'm really excited for them. If you haven't seen their viral video of them dancing at their wedding, it's so good.
So good.
And yeah, it's so good.
So really what it boils down to is if there's any dancing challenges on this season, they're clearly gonna ace it.
One thing that I am curious is they said that the race is gonna be their second honeymoon.
That's right.
Which I wish that it was. The race is way too stressful to feel like a relaxing honeymoon, so I'm curious how long it's gonna take them to get that like kick in the face of like, oh my God, this is, you know, hard and difficult, and it's not a vacation.
But one of them also mentioned that they've been watching the show. So I think that they already are going in anticipating this is The Amazing Race. And it'll be interesting to see their dynamic, since they've really only done, one international trip together before.
Yeah.
They're about to have the ultimate international travel experience, which, as we know as a couple who've lived it, it's going to definitely test you in a lot of ways. The next team is Raquel and CAYLA, flight attendants, and we also have to point out the fact that they're Team Purple. Already love them. And I think that they have a lot of potential.
Because they're not related, because they're not in a relationship, I think that that helps in a lot of ways. I think that their flight attendants helps in a lot of ways. I think they're a team that's going to be incredibly underestimated by the other teams. So I think all of these things are going to work to their advantage, and I loved everything that they said in their interview of just like using their femaleness in the best ways to get ahead and to be underestimated and to use what people think of them against them. So I'm quite excited for these two.
They seem to already have like a strategic mind going into the race, which I love. But I think the point of the fact that they have worked together, if you already know how each other work, I think in this type of competition, you're going to know how to really let someone else take control when it's not something you're necessarily comfortable with. So
I also think that the teams that are able to kind of get over the humps quicker can do better. So those humps of like being uncomfortable, living out of a backpack, washing your clothes in the sink. I think because they're flight attendants and they already acknowledge the fact that living out of a backpack won't be hard for them, it gives them those little like, okay, they've already overcome all of these inconveniences that can take over your brain space. So, you know, you just get to go, you know, ahead faster.
I'm really looking forward to what Raquel and Kayla will bring to the race. The next team is Dusty and Ryan. They're best friends, and I think the story that really sticks out with this team is the fact that Ryan was wrongfully convicted and was in prison for 10 years. And they kept saying in their video that it's time to make up for that lost time. And what an incredible way to do that than the Amazing Race.
Yeah.
There's like a lot at stake, a lot to prove, and I'm excited about these two, and I look forward to, like you said, watching how their dynamic plays out.
I also think that they're probably very grounded. From their video, they feel very down to earth, and I think that's going to be beneficial for them running around the world too. Is just good energy, which they all have, which is really terrible, and like the best way, because it just everybody's great.
And like Dusty said in their video, the true meaning of making up for lost time is getting to see the whole world and seeing this thing through. I think that's important to both of us. And if they both have that mindset, I think they're going to go all the way.
Get to the end. That's the goal. Just don't be last.
The next team is Mo and Michael. They're singing police officers from New York. Their energy is so contagious. Like, they are a team I would want to be around during the Amazing Race. I would want to sit next to them in the airports. I would want to sit next to them on the airplane. There's something about their energy that just draws me to them. And I am excited to see if they're going to make a soundtrack for their race when they're on the legs, singing about what they're doing. Caroline and Jennifer.
Oh my God.
We're gonna win the Amazing Race.
I need more of that. But I need it from these singing cops. They probably get this all the time, but the height difference is incredible to me. I'm 6'6", and so I appreciate height differences, and I think it's great. I think that they have great voices too. But yeah, that charm is gonna push them further, and they can have that good social game too. I'm excited.
Our next team is Team Pink, Lulu and Lala, radio personalities from New Jersey. They are hilarious. Watching their dynamic in their interview had me laughing. I think that they're going to be so entertaining to watch.
There's something about twins, and my mom's a twin, and they just can read each other. They know things about each other. They can just not speak to each other. That's a huge asset in something like The Amazing Race when you're trying to make quick decisions and talk to each other and figure things out. So I think that's going to be a huge asset. They are super funny. I think their energy is great. I think they're going to be super entertaining on the show. We love a pink team. We love a girl-girl team. So I think they're going to be great.
We said this a lot during our season, especially to Ishwar and Aparna, Michelle and Victoria, and Haley and Kaylin. Like, we can't imagine running The Amazing Race with a sibling. So I look forward to just watching how this will help evolve their relationship. They already seem super close as it is, but this is just going to make them even stronger. Our next team is Anthony and Spencer. These two are true heroes. They're from Sacramento, California, but the story with these two is that back in 2015, they were on a train that ended up getting hijacked. They stepped in and completely
diffuse
the situation. I remember when this news story broke, and just to be able to see them on The Amazing Race is really exciting.
I can't fathom just making the quick decision to do something about a situation like that. I would hope that I step in, but you never know. And just the fact that they did that is incredible. I think them having that experience together and being friends and will help them in so many ways on the race.
They're going to work really, really well together, and being able to make quick decisions is very important on The Amazing Race. And so I think that will also be a huge benefit to them. Up next is Kim and Penn from the Holderness family. I already knew who these two were. I love their Christmas Jammies video. I've been following them on social media for a while now, and I'm looking forward to seeing them in a whole new light. I love what their daughter told them. Are you gonna remember some random month of the year, or are you gonna remember The Amazing Race? And I think these two are gonna bring such an energy to the race that will be fun and exciting, and the comedy. I'm just excited for the entertainment that I think they will bring to The Amazing Race.
I also really appreciate that she's honest, and she's saying that this is out of her comfort zone, that this is something that she probably normally, wouldn't do. I think that being honest and kind of understanding who you are and your weaknesses and your strengths is something that is really helpful on the race and just in life. I love that he talks about his ADHD in one of the preview clips for the race. I think knowing that about yourself and kind of understanding what you need to do to kind of tackle different scenarios and different tasks, knowing that about yourself is really helpful.
That hyper focus.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually so important to have on The Amazing Race.
Plus, you have to have a little bit of humor when you do a reality show. You have to just see it in a humorous light. And I think them being able to banter back and forth and just find the humor in anything that they're doing will be really helpful for them as a team. And also keep them really focused and not so frustrated if things aren't going their way, just finding the humor and the joy in everything that they're doing. And I think they'll be good at that.
Next, we have ARUN and NATALIA, the father-daughter duo from Detroit, Michigan. I'm already drawn to these two because they're from Michigan, so Michigan represent. So excited to see a father-daughter dynamic on the race. I feel like we haven't had that in a while. They are super fans, like myself. So I think because they're super fans, they're gonna understand the race, how it works, and knowing their strengths and weaknesses and when to really make the right decisions they need to propel them in the race.
It's very rare to see somebody with so much joy. And I think ARUN has so much joy and lust for life that
it's contagious.
It is so contagious. I love them. I think that them doing it as a father-daughter, which we haven't seen in a while, is fantastic. And the fact that she's getting married soon and he's our oldest contestant, I think, this season. I am thrilled that they get to do this as a father-daughter, and I'm so excited to watch them.
And I think because of that excitement and that joy that they're bringing into The Amazing Race, completing a dream, living out a super fan dream is going to really help them go far. Because you want to experience as much of The Amazing Race as possible. And so you're going to do whatever you can to make sure you're not last, that you're not eliminated. And so I can see these two actually going quite far in the race.
I want them to because I want to watch them go far.
All right, this team I'm actually really excited to watch just because we are big fans of Love Island. And I think when we were watching their season, out of all the couples, they were a team we said we would actually think that they would be great on The Amazing Race. And that's Caro and Ray. I think she's incredible. I loved her on Love Island. She was an absolute standout. And I'm excited to see how their dynamic from the villa is going to carry over to running The Amazing Race.
Their energy is so, fun. On the whole time when she was on Love Island, I don't know if anybody else watched, but she was just such a good energy. She just brought a lot of fun and light energy into the villa. And I think watching them kind of fall in love on that show was exciting because they were very compatible. And
he was a very nice guy, and the way they complimented each other was really fun to watch.
Yes. And now that they're doing the race, this is again, I can't imagine going from meeting falling in love on a national television show and then going to compete on another television show that's exponentially more stressful and not just in one spot in the villa, but around the world.
Around the world.
So there's so many dynamics that I think they're learning about each other in such ridiculous situations. So I'm very excited to see them go through stress together and see how they handle it.
Well, also, like, after the Love Island villa, the relationship turned long distance. And we were long distance for a while at the start of our relationship. And that can be very tough on a couple. And I think going from this long distance relationship to now traveling together is going to be a huge change that I hope ultimately isn't their downfall while running The Amazing Race, because it could get really stressful and they're still trying to learn about each other.
And you learn something that you don't like, or you learn something that you didn't know that, like, you don't know how to handle. So I think they're our only dating couple on this season, which is exciting to just watch a relationship kind of blossom. And I just hope that they don't crash and burn.
Last but not least, we have Sam and Connie, a married couple from North Carolina, and they're adorable, first off, but I am obsessed with Connie. I think she is stunning, and not just that, but even Sam was saying, oh, she can get really competitive, and she's kind of doubting herself, but I see it. I totally can see her stepping into power, Jinx, and completely being a total badass. I think the two of them are going to be a badass team, and I think they're going to bring a competitiveness to this season of the race.
Plus, he's a coach. My dad was a football coach for a very long time, and so that competitiveness and understanding of, like, the process of getting to the next step and working hard and fighting for things that you want, he's going to have a good grasp on. And I think she is literally going to step into her power. She's going to start the race and be like, oh, this is great. And then the second that she sees another team or, like, they have to do a challenge, she's going to be like, yes, I'm here. Go. I'm ready. Let's do it.
So those are the 11 teams that will be racing on The Amazing Race Season 33. I keep saying this, and at this point, I sound like a broken record, but I'm so excited that The Amazing Race is back, and I think this cast is so lovely, and it's going to be so hard to pick a favorite this season when already from the jump, they are all so likable.
Yeah, I am struggling because I'm like, who do I want to win, or who do I want to do well? And the answer is all of them. I really want everybody to do well. I think because we've only seen their interviews and just kind of a tidbit of who they are, that could change after we watch episode 1. But as of right now, I'm excited for every single team, and I hope they all enjoy the experience. I mean, I know that they had to stop and kind of take a pause, very long pause, but I hope that they all are able to just really soak it in and enjoy just all of the ride of this.
So I have to ask, would you rather wait 2 years for your season to air, or would you rather wait a year and a half after filming for a little bit to never knowing if you were going to be invited back or if the race was going to pick up where I left off? Which would you rather do?
Wait 2 years for it to air.
Facts. I cannot imagine what these teams had to endure over the past year.
God.
Keeping this secret, not knowing what the outcome was going to be. And I'm just so excited for them. Oh my God.
I'm so excited. I just have so much respect for the crew, for the creators, for Phil, for every single team that came back to do the rest of this season. I think that is just beyond. The fact that they all just were able to pull it off and finish it during a global pandemic, while also making the call very early on in the pandemic to stop production. I have so much respect, and I think that regardless of the outcome, regardless of how teams do, I think they should all be really just proud of being a part of season 33, just because it's not like any other season. Like, it's not remotely like anything any of us have experienced who have done the race before. And I think that's exciting. And I hope that they had a great time.
And I feel like as a viewer, you should find a newfound appreciation in that. Like, they were able to pull it off safely, and they're going to be so innovative with how this season plays out, and I'm excited to see how it all boils down. I'm just really looking forward to this. I feel like more than ever, this is going to be something I think we need. to just be reminded. I mean,
Yes.
our season, I feel like, offered a sense of escapism in a time we were all shut down and being inside and not being able to really socialize. Now that we're at this point in the pandemic, I think this will hopefully re-inspire people to get back out into the world when they are safe and ready to do so at their comfort level. So
I don't want to hear any negativity about the protocols that they put in place for this season, because 100% they are just trying to keep every single participant, crew member safe.
And locals. That's
safe.
a huge kicker. And locals.
Everybody's just trying to be safe, so I don't want to hear anything about anything. They're doing what they believe is best for the safety of all, and that's amazing. No negativity about it.
Before we wrap up this video, I want to know, what 3 teams, right off the bat, do you think stick out to you the most?
3 teams to me that stick out the most are ARUN and NATALIA. I think their super fan status and their just pure joy is going to be great and elevate them to do well. Maybe because they're purple, but also because I think they're going to be great, are RAQUEL and CAYLA. I think they're fantastic and they're going to do well. The 3rd team for me would be, I would love AKBAR and SHERIDAN to do really well. I think their story is wonderful. I think that seeing the previews of them gets me excited to watch their dynamic on TV. And so I would love to see them do well.
Okay, I have 2 out of the 3 the same. ARUN and NATALIA, RAQUEL and CAYLA, but my 3rd standout would be Dusty and Ryan. Like I said, I think that they both have the same mindset going into this race. I like the idea of making up for that lost time, and what a better way to do it. And I think because of all that's at stake for them and what they want to accomplish, they're going to go all the way.
Yeah, pretty good. It's a pretty good group.
Yes.
We'll see.
I look forward to just sitting back on the couch this season, watching it as a viewer, living vicariously through these racers, and may the best team win.
I am thrilled. I'm just thrilled to watch it again. There's not been a lot of reality shows that have come out with contestants who have actually experienced the pandemic. And this is teams that have experienced it on the show, which I think is fascinating and also like traumatizing, and I think it's going to be great to watch for all of us to kind of see their experience and how they've grown over the past year and a half since they had to stop filming. I think it's going to be great. Thank you so much for checking in to the Pit Stop.
We look forward to recapping this season, and we will see you next time.